Congressman Bush, great to have you. I mean, why this is not an action that every member of Congress would take every day. Why is this so important to you?
You know, I am just a strong believer in, first of all, humans helping humans. You know, that's how I ended up out of the situations that I was in. Someone reached out, someone helped me. You know, my family was there for me, and a family friend helped me get out of that situation. But then also just, I know what it's like to have to walk through every single piece of what happens when an eviction is possible in your life, and then what happens when you are actually evicted, and what that does to you emotionally, physically, mentally, what it does to your family. Like, it is actual violence on a person, you know, to be evicted. And I don't wish that on anyone. I said when I ran for office that if there is anything that I could do to prevent other people, especially the people of St. Louis, from going through what I went through, all of those hardships, I would do it. I would put myself out there and do it. So here we are.
I want to present to you the argument that has been made both by the National Association of Realtors and the landlord lobby, and those who have made these arguments in front of the Supreme Court as well, that essentially the original eviction exceeded the authority the CDC had. But what I've heard from them recently is, look, the pandemic is not where it was in September. Yes, the Delta variant's out there, but this can't be a policy that's extended forever. So now's the time to bring it to a close. What do you say to that?
No way. No way. Because we're talking about 7 million people, possibly up to 11 million people. It would be bad enough if it was 20, if it was 100 people. That would be really, really bad. It would be bad if it was 1,000. But millions of people will be out on the street, forced out of their homes. Hundreds of thousands probably have already been forced out of their homes. People have sent me pictures of what dockets look like that with the names on of evictions. No, that is not good enough. We are talking about the highest government of the United States of America. This is unacceptable. We have to do better by people. And the other thing is this. People look to us because there is nobody else that can fix this. People look to us to make sure that that this is done. We can't sit around and point the finger at anybody. We have to get it done. And I think about those moments when I was unhoused, when I was sleeping out of a car and just wondering, who can do something? Who can help? Like where are the real resources? Where are those that can help? Because you know what? When it's so cold outside, and like it was pretty cold outside last night. The wind was blowing through my sleeping bag as thick as it was. You know, I could not get warm. There was nothing I could do to get warm last night. The same thing, and it rained. That's the other thing. It was raining. The sleeping bag was wet. This is what people live through that actually have to live on the street. So many problems, so many difficulties, so many barriers to being able to move out of that place. I will not sit by and be quiet because we want to talk about procedure and protocol and let's just do the job to make sure people are taken care of. We can go deal with court cases. We can deal with the states. Aside from that, let's just get that pinned right now. Get the moratorium done.
So the moratorium would have to pass Congress. The Biden administration has basically said, look, we don't think we have legal authority to extend it. It narrowly survived a court challenge anyway. It has to be something that Congress would actually do. You're there because you want Congress to come back and pass it. But even if it did, it would then have to go to the Senate. And that seems a tough road. Are you just sort of like one thing at a time, I guess? Yes, one thing. Well, yeah, kind of one thing at a time. The first thing for me is I'm not letting up on whether the White House should go ahead and get this the moratorium reinstated. I understand what the CDC is saying. I understand that there could be a court challenge. We get that, but that won't take 2 days. That'll take a little. That timing will give us an opportunity to be able to bring the caucus back and be able to get those votes. But then also, if the Senate, the House has to worry about the House. We need to get our work done because the Senate can't do anything, won't do anything with it if we don't even start. We know for a fact that nothing will happen if we don't at least start. So we have to do that. We cannot legislate worried about what somebody else is going to do. We need to do our work. That's what the people elected us for. Otherwise, they could have just elected a Senate.
Final question for you. There is like $45 billion of rental assistance that was in the legislation passed last year. And I think 90% of it has been undistributed. This to me is the most insane part of this whole story. There's literally tens of billions of dollars in rental assistance for back rent that is sitting in state coffers and not getting distributed. It seems like that has to change too, right?
Absolutely, it has to change now. We are calling on states and local governments to go ahead that have those funds to go ahead and get those funds out. Don't give a percentage of it. Give the funds out because we're trying to keep people in their homes, and that was money that was sent.
Yes.
That money was sent.
Yes.
We did the work to get that. And usually the problem is because the funds aren't there. But we're talking about the funds being there. $40 billion, billions with the B, sitting there while people are risking being out on the street in the middle of a global deadly pandemic.
Congresswoman Cori Bush, Democrat from Missouri, thank you so much for making some time with us.